Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and the Restless official 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Kane in danger zone, Lily's breakdown, and Phyllis's power play are all included. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of August 4th to 8th reveal that Kane Ashby's Genoa City return will get messy while Lily Winters has a meltdown and Phyllis Summers makes an alarming power play. Despite all the warnings Kane's received about avoiding GC, he'll move forward with his comeback anyway. However, as a result of the Newmans' efforts to protect their territory, Kane will enter the danger zone. Mark Grossman's Adam Newman has pledged loyalty to his family and will undoubtedly be willing to play dirty against Kane. Although Chelsea Lawson has tried to protect Billy Abbott in the past, she may not be willing to do that now that he's gearing up for a Kane partnership. Billy, of course, has also been attempting to entice Phyllis with an alliance that aligns with their Kane objectives. Despite her initial fears, Phyllis seems poised to go all in and set off some alarm bells for her loved ones in the process. Daniel Romalotti Jr. and both Nick Newman and Michael Graziardi may raise some objections, but Phyllis always does what she wants. Fans of Y&R can anticipate Phyllis making a daring power play as tensions rise. As for Sharon Newman, she'll have some disturbing info for Mariah Copeland after all the murder mayhem. Mariah may also receive updates from Sharon regarding Nick's kiss and how complicated things have become. Additionally, Mariah may inform Sharon of her deteriorating relationship with Kate Fairbanks' Tessa Porter. Tessa and Mariah's separation could become a divorce if Mariah can't get her act together fast enough. Mariah might also start to worry about Tessa's relationship with Daniel and how close she is getting to him. Regardless, Mariah's experience strangling that stranger on her business trip left her haunted, so it will be interesting to see what she needs to move on. They will finally say their final goodbyes to Cole Howard when they get back to the Newmans. Eddie Peck. It looks like Victoria Newman and Claire Newman will finally move ahead with the memorial service once Nick, Victor Newman, and Nikki Newman are back in town. Kyle Abbott will support Claire as best he can, but Audra Charles will undoubtedly cause more trouble. Along with Amy Lewis, Nate Hastings, and Damian Kane will continue to grieve for Audra as she seeks more information about the trip. Connor Floyd, Chance Chancellor, will undoubtedly be mourned as well. Consequently, memorial arrangements ought to be made for him as soon as possible. Finally, Lily will likely have another Kane-fueled outburst. Lily may criticize Kane for returning to Genoa City against everyone's wishes, including her own, once she meets him there. The air was thick with tension in Genoa City, the kind of tension that warned something catastrophic was brewing beneath the surface. Kane Ashby found himself smack in the center of it all, unwittingly entangled in a trap that was tightening by the hour. 4 weeks now, whispers of secret alliances, betrayal, and corporate sabotage had been floating around town like smog. At first, Kane thought it had nothing to do with him, until a single anonymous message changed everything. You're in danger. Trust no one. Especially Phyllis. Kane sat in his office, hands trembling slightly as he stared at the screen. The words burned into his mind. He was no stranger to danger. He'd faced it down in Australia, had survived countless battles over business and family. But this was different. This felt personal. This felt like a war disguised as chess, and every move he made only pushed him closer to checkmate. Meanwhile, across town, Lily Winters was spiraling. Her world had been upended. Everything she had tried to hold together was unraveling: her trust in Kane, the fragile peace she'd been trying to maintain between her past and present, even her grip on reality. When she found out about the shady deal involving Kane and a mysterious investor linked to Victor Newman's enemies, she cracked. It wasn't just the betrayal, it was the fact that Kane had lied to her again, right to her face. Lily burst into Chancellor Winters like a storm, her heels echoing down the hallway, her eyes blazing with fury and heartbreak. Devon caught sight of her from his office window and tried to intercept her, but there was no stopping Lily when she was like this. Where is he? She demanded, voice trembling but fierce. Devon hesitated. Lily, where is Kane? She screamed, and the entire floor went silent. A few employees scattered out of sight, sensing the meltdown about to erupt. Devon nodded toward the boardroom, his face pale. Lily didn't wait for further instruction. She slammed the door open so hard it nearly broke off the hinges. Kane turned, startled. Lily! You lied to me, she hissed, eyes welling with tears. Again? Lily, I can explain. I don't want another explanation, Kane. I want the truth. I want to know why you're working with people who want to destroy everything we built. Everything my father built. Everything we tried to rebuild after everything. Kane stood, trying to approach her, but she backed away like he was toxic. I didn't mean for you to find out like this, he said softly. It's complicated. No, it's not complicated, Kane. It's simple. You chose greed. You chose lies. And you didn't choose me. Lily's voice cracked, and then the dam broke. She collapsed into a chair, sobbing uncontrollably. Kane knelt beside her, guilt written all over his face. I thought I was protecting us, he whispered. I thought if I got ahead of this, I could keep you safe. Lily looked at him, shattered. You never learn. And I'm so tired of being the one left to pick up the pieces. Across town at the Grand Phoenix, Phyllis Summers sat in her luxurious suite sipping champagne, smirking at the chaos she had orchestrated like a master puppeteer. She had warned Kane not to cross her. She had told him that siding with Audra Charles and the shadowy investors trying to disrupt Newman Enterprises and Chancellor Winters would only lead to his ruin. But Kane hadn't listened. He thought he could outmaneuver her, outwit her. Phyllis chuckled to herself. Amateur mistake. A knock at the door interrupted her thoughts. She opened it to find Audra herself, looking as stunning and dangerous as ever. You've really done it this time, Phyllis, Audra said, stepping in. Lily's public meltdown? Kane being investigated? You turned a minor disruption into a full-scale scandal. Phyllis poured Audra a glass of champagne. That's the difference between me and you. I don't disrupt, I dismantle. But what's your endgame? Audra asked, narrowing her eyes. Phyllis raised her glass. Power. What else? Audra smirked. And what do you plan to do when everyone turns against you? They won't, Phyllis replied coolly. Because by the time they realize I'm the one pulling the strings, they'll already need me more than they hate me. Phyllis had laid the groundwork perfectly. She leaked just enough information about Kane's off-the-books dealings to draw suspicion. Then she ensured that Lily would find out in the most devastating way possible. Now, with Lily and Kane fractured, Devon rattled, and Chancellor Winters in turmoil, she could slide in with her help and capitalize on the collapse. Back at Chancellor Winters, the fallout from Lily's confrontation was immediate. Devon called an emergency board meeting. Jill flew back into town, furious. The media was sniffing around, asking questions about insider trading, illegal investments, and backroom deals. The board was in chaos, and Kane was now the face of it all. Despite his attempts to explain that he'd been baited into the scheme and tried to pull out when he saw how dangerous it was, no one wanted to hear it. Not even Lily, who now refused to be in the same room with him. I don't know who you are anymore, she said quietly when he tried to see her later that night. I'm still me, Kane insisted. I made a mistake. You made a choice, Kane. And now we all have to live with the consequences. Lily left him standing on the doorstep, heartbroken. As things spiraled, Victor Newman entered the battlefield. He'd been watching from the shadows, aware of Phyllis' game and unimpressed by Kane's lack of foresight. Victor confronted Phyllis in her suite, icy fury in his eyes. Enjoying yourself? He asked. Phyllis didn't flinch. Always. You're tearing down businesses I've spent decades building, he growled. You're playing a dangerous game, Phyllis. She met his gaze with a steely calm. So are you, Victor. You think you can own every outcome in this town. But I'm tired of being underestimated. Victor stepped closer. You don't scare me. Phyllis smiled. Good. Because I'm just getting started. Meanwhile, Kane received a new message, one that chilled him to the bone. You were warned. Now you'll pay. Tick-tock. He took it to Chancellor, who had already been investigating the rogue investors linked to criminal activity overseas. This goes deeper than you think, Chance warned him. These people don't just bankrupt companies, they bury people. If you're in with them, even accidentally, you've already made yourself a target. Kane realized he wasn't just in trouble, he was in the danger zone. And this wasn't just about corporate sabotage anymore. It was about survival. As the storm gathered, Lily tried to regain her footing. She returned to work with a colder edge, her heartbreak fueling a new fire inside her. She vowed to clean up the mess Kane had left and restore her family's legacy. But every room she entered felt heavier without Kane by her side, even if she couldn't admit she missed him. Then came the breaking point. News broke that Phyllis had acquired a massive stake in one of Chancellor Winter's subsidiaries. Devon was blindsided. Lily was livid. "She's not just playing games," Lily said. "She's waging war." Kane, now hiding out in a secure location Chance arranged, knew Phyllis wasn't finished. And neither was the person behind the messages, someone still operating from the shadows, someone who wanted more than control. They wanted revenge. And as the noose tightened around Kane's neck, and Lily's emotional foundation continued to crumble, Phyllis only smiled wider. After all, a woman with nothing left to lose was the most dangerous player of all. Reunion in the works? Lily softens her hard stance on the Kane. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Lily Winters, played by Christian Khalil, will soon change her mind about Kane Ashby, played by Billy Flynn. It might bring about the much-anticipated reunion. Up until now, Lily has refused to consider reuniting with Kane. She cannot get past all the heartbreak he has caused. Kane hurt her every time she gave him more chances than he deserved. His affair with a woman who had a child was the last straw for Lily. In recent events, Kane was the catalyst in the deaths of Damien Kane and Chance Chancellor. It's clear that Lily isn't ready to forgive and forget just yet, but soap spoilers suggest that she will shortly. The argument between Lily and Kane tells a story. According to the spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Kane is determined to persuade Lily to give him another chance. That was the reason Damien Kane, played by Jermaine Rivers, was killed. Even though Kane insists that he did not direct Carter to kill Damien, Lily still holds him responsible for the untimely death of her new love. Lily repeatedly informs Kane that they will never be together again. He drills that notion over and over. Kane refuses to accept that. Even if she declines now, he believes they will reunite. People who watch Young and the Restless want to see Kane and Lily get back together. They believe Lily will forgive Kane for the France mess and might remember how good they were together in time. She may need a few months to process her grief and anger regarding everything. Most fans believe the couple dubbed Lane will be together again. When does Lily begin to soften her firm stand against the Kane? Lily and Kane might be at odds with each other right now, but it won't take long for that fighting to turn to passion. Y&R spoilers state that Lily hasn't refused to talk to Kane, even if those conversations often lead to a gigantic argument. Kane told Lily on Tuesday's show that he planned to return with everyone to Genoa City. Lily forbade her ex-husband from doing it. She is of the opinion that he will not be forgiven for the murders of Chance and Damien. She suggested that Chance's murderer will never be forgiven by Jill Abbott. Still, Kane is determined to go back to Genoa City to carry out his business plans and reclaim Lily. The halls of Chancellor Winters had felt colder since Lily Winters and Kane Ashby's explosive fallout. Every footstep echoed with tension. Every closed door whispered of unfinished business and shattered trust. For weeks, Lily had kept her distance, fiercely protecting her heart from the man she once thought she'd spend forever with. Kane's entanglement with shadowy figures and his refusal to fully disclose his role in a financial scheme had nearly dismantled everything she had rebuilt. She had cried, yelled, shut him out and had every reason to keep the door firmly closed. And yet, beneath all the fire and fury, a quieter truth simmered beneath Lily's skin. She still loved him. Kane had become a ghost in Genoa City's corporate corridors, staying under the radar, appearing only in brief meetings or when summoned. No longer brash and confident, he was more subdued, a man bruised by consequence and loss. The message from Lily, delivered through Devon, had been short and brutal: "We're done. Don't contact me." And he hadn't. But he hoped. Every day, he hoped the air would shift, that she might see he was more than his mistakes. Lily, for her part, buried herself in work. Her calendar was booked solid, and her conversations clipped and professional. Devon and Billy noticed the strain, the weariness in her eyes that came from more than long hours. Jill even offered to send her on a sabbatical, but Lily refused. She thought if she kept moving, she wouldn't have to face the ache in her chest. But late at night, in the quiet of her home, the memories came rushing back. Their laughter. Their kids. The time Kane stood beside her during the darkest days of her life. He had been her partner in chaos and in peace. And now, She felt that absence everywhere. One rainy evening, a soft knock came at her door. She opened it, expecting Devon or Billy, but it was Abby. "I'm not staying," Abby said, holding a bag of takeout and a bottle of red wine. "But you need to stop punishing yourself." Lily frowned. "I'm not." "Yes, you are," Abby interrupted. "Kane messed up. I'm not denying that. But have you looked in the mirror lately? You're hollow, Lily. I've seen you bounce back from worse. Why does this feel like it broke something deeper?" Lily said nothing, her shoulders dropping. "Because it's Kane," Abby continued, setting the bag on the counter. "Because you still love him, even if you don't trust him right now." Lily turned away, fighting the sting in her eyes. "What am I supposed to do? Pretend nothing happened? Open myself up just to be disappointed again?" "No. But maybe, just talk to him. Not as his ex. As someone who once believed in him. You owe yourself at least that much." After Abby left, Lily stood at the window for a long time, the wine untouched. The rain fell steadily, matching the rhythm of her heartbeat. She picked up her phone more than once, typing out Kane's name before deleting it. Finally, she sent one word. "Lunch." Kane nearly dropped his phone when the message came through. For a moment, he thought it was a mistake. But the name, Lily, glowed on his screen like a lifeline. He replied simply, "Anywhere, anytime." They agreed to meet at Society. Not private, not too public. Neutral ground. When Lily walked in, she looked like a force of nature, poised, stunning, unreadable. Kane stood when he saw her, nerves dancing in his stomach like bees. She sat across from him, cool and composed, but he could see the battle behind her eyes. "I didn't expect to hear from you," he said gently. "I didn't expect to text you," Lily replied, lips tight. "But I'm tired, Kane. Tired of being angry. Tired of pretending I don't miss." She stopped herself. "I needed to see you. I needed to ask some questions. And I need honesty this time." Kane nodded. "You'll get nothing less." Lily asked him about the deals, who pressured him, what his intentions were. Kane laid it all out. The fear, the desperation to prove himself, the belief he could outsmart Phyllis and her investors. He admitted he thought if he got ahead of the game, he could protect Lily, protect the company and protect his pride. "I was wrong," he said quietly. "And it cost me everything that matters." Lily's eyes shimmered. "You broke my heart, Kane. Again." "I know," he said. "And I will regret it for the rest of my life." They sat in silence for a long moment, the noise of the restaurant fading around them. Finally, Lily sighed. "I don't know what this means," she said. "But I do know I'm tired of being numb." Kane's eyes lit with cautious hope. "I don't expect forgiveness overnight. I don't even expect us to go back to what we were. But if there's even a sliver of space for me in your life again, I'll take it. I'll earn it." Lily looked at him with a mix of vulnerability and strength. "We'll see." Word of the lunch spread fast, too fast. By the next day, whispers flew through Chancellor Winters, through the GCAC, and even the Grand Phoenix. Phyllis was not pleased. She had invested heavily in the wedge between Kane and Lily. If they reunited, even halfway, it could complicate everything. "I need to pay Lily a visit," Phyllis muttered.